that projects that have been delayed many a times have got very poor quality.
Welcome to today's podcast show. We have with us today Mr. Ujwal Kunte ji. He is the MD and CEO of CQRA. Pleasure meeting you after a long time.
Same here, Pankaj.
Yeah, so basically today's podcast will be talking about how to deliver projects on time with world-class quality. And since you are in this involved in the projects, working for many years to help the developers and builders with the same mission. What is your say about it? In India, my observation is that 90% of the companies, real estate developers are not able to deliver projects on time with world-class quality. So please start with an introduction, then you can talk on this.
Hello everyone, I am Ujwal Kunte. I am MD of CQRA. We are a company engaged in third-party inspections and providing quality assurance and quality control services. We are providing services across India to infrastructure companies, real estate projects and industrial projects. So we have gathered a bit of experience in over last 20 years in this field and happy to share that with you.
Thank you so much, Ujwalji. I know you have been associated with many developers providing this third-party service, which of course is one of the second check to ensure that the product is accordance with the drawings and deliveries, the delivery part of it. So what's your say on this? Why 90% of the developers are not being able to deliver projects on time with promised quality? What's your say on this?
Now, a lot of people would like to link quality with speed of the project.
Yes.
Actually, if you do it right, if you have proper planning, you can deliver projects on time and with quality. And this has been our experience. And also, I would put it vice versa, that projects that have been delayed many a times have got very poor quality.
Yeah.
So it is so. You cannot say that quality is an obstacle.
Yeah.
Quality is a challenge that has to be built within your planned project speed. So
Correct.
it starts with planning.
Correct.
Now, in many cases, we find that you must have a good specifications in place.
Yeah.
It starts from there. Many projects do not have the specifications are very hazy. And they try to change the specifications midway.
Yeah.
So based on the market response or whatever. And since things are not defined, it is very difficult for the teams to start working, ahead on those things. Then second important part for quality and timely completion is your contract strategy.
Yes.
Many a times your contract strategy goes wrong. You have option of either giving it turnkey, that is EPC contract, with the materials design. You have an option of giving with material, and you have various designers.
Yes.
And architects and consultants and a PMC and a contractor who's doing work with materials. And then third is you have lots of labor contractors and the material is provided by the developer.
Yeah.
And they have either an item rate or a per square feet contract.
Yeah.
Now, I have often seen problem arises in the last part, where you have many contractors, there's no control, and the contractors are not accountable for quality, and neither are they accountable for speed in such cases.
Yes.
So obviously, it is very difficult or it becomes very difficult for the project management team to deliver the project, in such scenario. Even if you have a EPC contract or a with material contract, it is important to assess the contractor capability.
Yes.
Many a times what happens is this tangible versus intangible, thing comes into play. where people go for L1. Now obviously there is always going to be some L1 who is, the lowest,
Yes.
and the client is tempted, by that L1. And this other aspect of evaluating, what is his past track record, how has he delivered the project? Does he have a good project team in place?
Yes.
Does he have spare capacity, or he is fully loaded?
Yes.
All these things are not looked at.
Correct.
So I would say that majority of the projects fail at contract strategy stage.
Very true. Very true. I mean, from the client perspective, number one, for what my observation is, you comment on my observations. Number
Sure.
one is it is a one-sided contract. Which itself is wrong actually. All contractors, all stakeholders are part of the same project.
True.
Without any team performing, it contributes to the project's delay or whatever, quality problem, whatever. And second aspect is that there is no systems and procedures, SOPs, in many of the companies. So what do you have to say on these two aspects? Please.
Yeah. So first one point which you mentioned, can you come again?
Yeah, going to the L1 contract. Yeah.
Yeah, true. So L1 contractor is of course obstacle in the race. And the second part, SOPs, yes, many people don't have SOPs, but it's not too difficult to make the SOPs. And I have seen on, especially when the projects are large, even if people have SOPs, they are too generic, and they don't get percolated on the project. It is done as a kind of a formality,
Yes.
that we have SOPs.
Yes.
Now, SOPs make sense when those SOPs are integrated in the contract.
Yes.
Many times there is no link. The contractor is not aware of what SOPs he is supposed to follow. If there are any specific equipment he is supposed to deploy, or if there is certain cost required to do a certain thing in a certain fashion, he's not built it up. So moment there is something that goes beyond his budget, he will start objecting, or not doing it. So SOPs are important, but they are not sufficient.
Correct.
And one of the another challenges is that SOPs are for materials, and specific are related with the specifications for the project. So in many cases, these specifications are not finalized. The architects are not sure, they are changing. The client himself is not sure. So it is being managed on the go. So what happens is, in such a situation, there's a lot of mistakes can happen.
So in
Serious
essence,
can happen.
it's a chaos in the contracts itself. Actually, this entire process needs to be part of the contract document only. It has to be captured in the contract document in the tender stage itself, so that when you are floating the inquiry, the contractor is aware from the day one, these are the compliances we have to do, not in
Exactly.
bits and pieces, right?
And even with your material suppliers, it is I often come across developers, they will put only vitrified tiles. They have not put the specs.
Yes.
Now you have committed something to the customer. Now you must ensure that exact specification of that material has to be mentioned in the contract.
Yes.
If it is AAC block, there are various grades, types of AAC block.
Of course.
I know a lot of developers who are not mentioning what density, what strength, grade 1, grade 2, AAC block.
Yeah.
Now, if that is the case, then the supplier is at liberty to provide whatever material he has.
Correct.
I've seen a particular case where a particular project was having after finishing it, they were on the vitrified tile, the stains were coming, and they were not getting wiped out.
Yes.
So when the developer, we tested it and we said that this doesn't work for household chemicals. There's a test for tiles, so it is not passing that test. So he went to the manufacturer, and the manufacturer asked him that we have 2 grades. Where in your work order you show me you have said this, that this should be stain free.
Yes. Correct.
So, the work orders are so open and the purchase guys are not technically trained. So, the SOPs need to be created at procurement stage also. So, one is the contract part and second is the material part.
Yeah, material part also, the specification needs to be defined well in advance before floating the inquiry, before floating the tender document itself. Otherwise, I mean, it is a cheating to to the customers, point blank. I mean, other way around, I would also put it in the way perspective that it is a legal issue. I mean, you are cheating the customer.
It is.
It is a legal issue.
True.
True.
And
Right?
it's not fair also, because if you are giving a particular material to us, you are procuring a particular material from a supplier,
Yeah.
and you are going to carry out certain tests.
Yeah.
The supplier should know that these are the tests that are going to be carried out, and
Yeah.
he has to pass these parameters.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You get the material and then you reject after some time. That's not fair to the supplier also.
Yeah, I mean, supplier comes in the second. First of all, the client needs to know what they want. If you are a developer, it is the duty and responsibility of the developer to understand and make a budget of what his requirements are, what he has committed to the customers. Because end of the day, everybody is gone. The developer is actually having a contract with the customers, which is a legal document.
Correct.
And, going forward, I mean, the way construction is happening, things are coming up, projects are expanding every cities. We have no less projects. Every day it is increasing. So now it is high time for the developers to learn some lesson and put these systems into practice.
Very true.
Yeah. And the problem is, because of these things, they are not able to do the things in budget because they don't have a correct budget from the day one.
Exactly.
Yes. So what you
they are not able to define even midway also.
Yeah.
Midway also, on a construction project, you have a lot of wastages on the side.
Yeah.
You have certain material that is in the store, certain is issued to the contractor.
Yeah.
But that is not actually, in place, where it should be.
Yes.
So it's very difficult to get an idea of how much work is carried out and how much material should have been consumed.
Exactly.
So ultimately, many projects, only after it is complete, they realize how much was the wastage and what was the exact expenditure.
Exactly. This exercise could have been.
Activities are going in, concurrence. There are multiple activities.
Correct.
And same material is going towards multiple locations and multiple activities.
Yeah, exactly. Money, in essence, it's a chaos basically. It's a chaos from the day one, from the developers only. Because
absolutely,
contractors comes later on. Till the time developers are not organized, they are not having the right teams, they are not having the right processes. How can we expect others come and work for us without any systems and our processes, right? And that absolutely, ultimately, the people who are paying the price is the clients, the customers. Because they are putting in their hard-earned money, lifetime money, just seeing the signboard or the name of a developer, putting the trust on him with the folded eyes, and they are being cheated time and again, right? What do you have to say about it?
Yeah, and developers themselves also lose out on this, because customers are losers, but today they have become very conscious because of RERA and all this. It has empowered them, and the developer is also a major loser in this. What has happened is that the scale of the project has gone up enormously, over the past 10-15 years. Yes. Developers who were earlier doing, 1 lakh, 2 lakh square feet schemes are easily doing 1 or 2 million square feet schemes.
Yes.
So, but they haven't grown in their management bandwidth. So when you are doing projects of this scale, you need a management bandwidth, which includes, departments which are specialized, architectural department, contracts department, MEP department. And, so they have to have these people in-house for managing such large projects. You can't depend everything on outsiders.
Exactly.
And then what happens is, after you have awarded the contract, the contractor, even, he should be made responsible for doing the project on time and with the quality.
Yeah.
Many a times what happens is that, the material is given to him and still the drawings are not ready so the coordination part is missing. So contractor has got lot of, reasons for the delay, which he can put on the client.
Yeah, they
So
know. Yeah,
these are
exactly.
easily hidden.
Yes, correct.
So I have not seen many projects where a contractor has been seriously penalized for delay. Because ultimately, in many cases, you will find that indirectly the developer himself has not been able to deliver certain things as per, the contract
Yeah,
in time.
yeah,
And he has not maintained the documentation.
yes,
So he cannot defend himself.
correct. Another aspect which is seen, from my perspective, as a client, as a developer, there are two things to be delivered, two things to be looked at. On-time decision and on-time payment. As a client, if you are able to do this, then only your team or stakeholder management is going to be working properly. What do you have to say about it?
Very, very important. What you have touched the real pain point in the industry.
Yeah.
What happens is that sometimes, the delays are not because of the owners. Sometimes the delay can also be because of the inefficient handling of the, entire process by the staff who's deployed on the project.
Yes.
But what happens is when the payment is delayed, normally what a contractor does is that he is not working on a single project.
Yes.
Okay, he is working on multiple projects.
Yes.
Automatically, what he does is he will deploy his resources maximum to the project which is having maximum, fast, recovery.
Yeah.
That happens. So the project where the payments are delayed will receive less attention, less labor. And labor already is, in short supply.
Yes.
So the project will suffer.
Exactly.
So we have to ensure that the process is extremely efficient and predictable.
Yes.
For the contractor.
Yes.
So that the contractor can commit his resources for that project.
So, what according to you is one secret behind successful delivery of a real estate project from your perspective?
Okay. I would say that the trick is to get everything, all decisions, ready, define it well in advance and get a good contractor on board. That's the primary requirement. In majority of the cases, if you have this in place, you can deliver projects on time.
Correct. What about the use of advanced technology? What you have to say about it? Because now it's about technology to make the project run fast. But many of our companies are not willing to do it. What do you have to say about it?
It's a very vast topic. I have a lot to say on this. In terms of technology, we are talking about many people have SAP and ERP, but that doesn't run the project. If we are talking about technology, it has to be schedule management, technologies for schedule management. Now, most of the people are still using MSP, and MSP, no doubt, is a good product and a very standard product. But you need expertise, and the product itself has got certain limitations to the extent it can help you. Broad-based planning is okay, but if you want detailed planning, then definitely MSP is not adequate. Primavera is definitely better in terms of technology.
Okay.
But I would say that if you want to really complete projects on time, we should look beyond these standard scheduling tools and go towards CCPM. CCPM is critical chain project management.
Okay.
And it has been successfully used in other industries. And my experience has been that it is most apt for the construction sector.
Okay.
Because problem is that what we are doing is when we are defining time periods for different activities for scheduling, we are building up a lot of buffers in each and every activity. Okay. So the buffers are already built up. And then what happens is whatever buffers, let's say that a slab cycle is possible in 7 days,
Yeah.
and you will say, no, let me take 10.
Hmm.
Now what happens is that this way you've built buffer in each activity.
Hmm.
Now what happens is that once that buffer is built up, the contractor takes 10 days as the standard.
Hmm.
Okay, because you have 7 plus 3 is already a buffer,
Hmm.
but he takes 10 days as standard. He plans for 10,
Hmm.
not 7.
Hmm.
Okay, and then when you plan for 10, the actual work becomes, instead of 10, it will become 13 or 15.
Hmm.
So
Correct.
psychologically, once you have, think that this is a justifiable time, then your delay starts from that time.
Correct.
So what CCPM tells is that you should not give individual buffers for these activities.
Yes.
Plan them, overall, with whatever time required is there, you take that time. Don't put buffers in, individual activities, but
Correct.
take buffer management system, put overall buffer on the project.
Correct.
At the end of the project.
Correct.
Okay, so you say that a 3-year project actually can be theoretically completed in 2 years, provided everything works, perfectly.
Yes.
But we know that things may go wrong, and there will be certain unpredictable things. So then, for that, you have a buffer of 1 year. Okay.
Yeah.
So you start consuming that buffer.
Yes.
So this is this, buffer management and CCPM, critical chain project management. So these are the things that people need to deploy today to be able to complete projects in time.
Correct. Okay. Yeah. So it's a good takeaway. Correct. I think many of the peoples are still dependent on the MS project only. Very true. I totally agree.
And then, they don't monitor it also. The MSP is an old MSP that was created. Idea is that on MSP also every, week or ideally every day, but if not every day, every week it should be updated.
Correct.
I don't find, MSP being updated that frequently.
Yeah.
So the developer is not having a correct idea. He's always under a false impression of what the project time is going to take.
Exactly. Yeah. But prima vida, my perception is, unless otherwise the company is very organized in terms of all systems and processes, everything, then only it is recommended. Otherwise, everybody cannot do it.
True, it requires a lot of expertise, but people should take help if required.
Yeah.
In scheduling, but scheduling is a major challenge in these, and your resource requirement and resource scheduling is also very important. So your procurement of material has to be aligned with your.
You have touched a very important point. Actually, the way you mentioned, from the day one buffer rakh lete hum log. Day one there is buffer, and that is the problem actually. Planning mein time dete nahi hai. Actually, from the Japanese people, I had the opportunity to work with the Japanese people. They give 70% of the time in planning. It's so accurate. When you come to the execution, आपका 3 month का stock material होना चाहिए. And you see our project, any project you talk about, fast casting, there will be a problem. There will be some 5 things missing during the day of this casting of the slab. This is the planning we do, right? Yeah. So, I mean, and second important aspect, the reporting system. I have a feeling that many companies, the top management is not aware of the problems at the project execution site. What do you think?
Absolutely. I have seen this happening not just in real estate projects, but in infra projects also, which are of critical importance.
Yes.
See, the site team will not present the real picture.
Yes.
And developer, and many a times what happens is the team changes in between. Okay, then the developer, when he gets the true picture, is in for a surprise. So, and in construction, activities are not linked. There are a lot of ifs and buts in everything. Like you have procured the material, it has been delivered on the site, it has been issued to the contractor, but you don't know whether his laborers actually put it on the project. Okay. Or there is some decision pending from the architect or somebody that is, stopping him from, putting that So all these things are not, and then because of that, something else is delayed. So all
Exactly.
these, interdependent things, because the schedule is not being updated,
Hmm.
they are not getting a realistic dashboard picture on a dashboard. What is the current status?
Correct, correct. I mean, which has to happen basically on a daily basis. And the
True.
management needs to be updated. Management, why not? They should also be updated on a daily basis, right? Whatever
Absolutely.
picture, whatever is there, it has to be crystal clear. It has to be known to every single person involved in the project, right?
Absolutely.
Then,
And these things also impact their cash flows.
yes, 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 yes. Correct. So, I mean, how about the regulatory principles? How about the companies following the regulatory processes rather? Nowadays, after RERA came into picture, many companies are following, that is fine. But my another observation is that despite of the stringent procedures, stringent laws created by the government, still many developers want to divert in the fire, or they want to, I mean, make things in circles. What is your say about it?
True, they try to, if you don't have a stringent monitoring mechanism, people will always find a way out.
Mm, mm.
And this is the Indian, tendency to
Yes,
find a way in everything.
yes, yes,
So, even if RERA is strict, they don't have that large team to monitor each and everything. So they rely on a lot of, reports that are uploaded by the developers themselves or their engineers
yeah,
and or the consultants. And
correct.
unless and until there is a complaint from someone,
Mm,
they don't have the mechanism to go into the projects and monitor
correct,
whether what is being presented is
correct,
right.
correct.
And you correctly mentioned it is so critical, fire safety, and
Yeah,
a lot of violations happen in fire safety
yes,
because it has been traditional belief that these fires don't happen, or these fire people are too stringent. So
yeah,
there has to be some way out, or way out of that.
correct,
So
correct.
this is the general tendency amongst Indians, that we don't take safety that seriously.
Yeah, so last but one question. What is your observation in the companies implementing the QA/QC and EHS part of it? How many companies honestly have these policies and they want to actually implement? What is your feedback?
There are many companies trying to do it now, because this I have seen the industry in last 25 years, and I feel that in last 5 years a lot of awareness has come. Even before RERA, it was the corporates, top corporates that were trying to set the house in order,
Hmm,
and subsequently the middle level and some of the smaller ones are also trying to do it,
hmm.
because they want to showcase it to their customers. So this awareness has definitely increased,
Okay, okay,
and they are engaging consultants or specialists, or to yeah, prepare SOPs and checklists, and they are trying to take in technology.
correct.
So QC practice, they are having a QA/QC engineer,
Yeah.
separate engineer.
Hmm,
Now, only thing is that many a times the QA/QC engineers who are hired, they are not oriented properly. Idea is a QA/QC engineer should not think and act like a site engineer.
yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes,
His thought process has to be different
yes,
than a
yes,
site engineer.
yes, yes.
Unfortunately, we don't have a separate training for a QA/QC engineer.
Hmm,
So
hmm.
a person in site execution who has done, he puts on the hat of QA/QC engineer.
Correct, correct.
Then there is, he doesn't realize that my job is to stop the work. My job is to escalate.
Hmm.
Tries to make the situation easy and tries to get along with everybody.
Correct, correct,
It's
correct.
the challenge.
This is the challenge. Correct, correct. So, before we conclude, what is your one-liner message for the industry in order to ensure that projects are delivered on time with promised quality? What is your
I will
one-liner
just
message?
say that quality never costs, it pays.
Yes, Very true. Very true.
And if you do quality right in the first instance without rework, you'll always have the project completed on time.
Correct. I would rather term it as first time right approach, right?
Absolutely. You have put it right.
Yes. So thank you very much for your time. We'll be catching up. Let's
Sure.
see all of us if we can help the industry grow and make changes so that ultimately end of the day customers' requirements are met, right? That is what we are striving for.
Absolutely. And developers should also sleep at peace
Sleep at peace.
equally.
Exactly. So once again, thank you very much and signing off for now.
It was my pleasure.